What's happening, bass players? Ryan here from BassMatter.com, taking you through the core bass learning program. And in this lesson, we're going to break down the doors on linear and non-linear bass playing to help you expand and explore new realms when it comes to improvising over chord progressions. Let's get to work. The band just finished the 12-bar turnaround. The leader of the band looks at you and says, "Bass, solo, go for it." What do? Lots of times people here kind of get some stage fright and freak out a little bit. If you've been playing with the band for a while, you've probably got a solo already worked out and memorized. Nothing's wrong with having a solo prepared. Nothing's wrong with practicing a solo ahead of time. Being caught off guard and being a little bit panicked about it is certainly a problem. And then, of course, the third option is to really start feeling free in your creativity to explore all of the different notes and the shapes and the sounds and the colors of tones out there, to really be creative on the fly and be inspired to improv over the top of something. This lesson, we're going to be talking about improvising using linear and non-linear chord progression changes, okay? Now, let's be clear. Linear versus nonlinear is a big music theory conversation. I'm only referring to a small portion of it today. This is a music theory conversation that goes over hundreds of years, from the ancient Gregorian chants to the guys that played on the no-valve trumpets to Mozart, to the Renaissance period, the Baroque period, all over the place. I'm referring to when you're soloing, are you following the chord progression of the song? That's linear. Or are you not following the chord progression of the song? Non-linear. Usually it's the latter that starts to sound a bit better. And you start hearing people that play non-linearly and you're like, what are they playing? Because it sounds very different than what I do when I solo, because I see the chord progressions and I just follow that and play a safe triad or a safe mode or a safe 7 chord. I want to know how to get around that and start bending some of the rules and start playing some more things. Let's look at that. So, for this video to make a lot of sense, if you don't know your triads, go check out your triads. It's going to be a powerful tool for you. Make sure you know the diatonic order. That's going to be a big thing that we're talking about today. Make sure you reviewed your modes. That's going to be a big video for you to be able to review as well. And let's jump into it. So I'm using the same jam track we did in the previous video, okay? I'm using the very first jam track and the groove tracks there. It's going to be that 4-chord progression. It's in the key of C still, and it starts off with an A minor. Then it goes to an F major, and then 1 bar of C major, and then 1 bar of a C sus 4 chord, or sus 2. I can't remember what it is, but it's one or the other, C sus 4 or sus 2. We talked about sus chords in our last video. Now from here, when people start playing, so they look back and say, cool, it's solo time for you. So we start playing this here, and I'm going to follow the chord progression for my solo, okay? So now I'm just following the bass line, da-da, da-da. Now I'm going to start soloing, okay? So here's my linear solo, okay? A minor. Okay, not fancy, not amazing, but not bad. I was playing all the safe notes. I was following the chord progression, making sure that I was playing my appropriate 7 chord, or making sure I was playing my appropriate triad, and I was following along. Didn't sound bad, but it was also very predictable, okay? And this is what people run into a lot when they're playing a bass line and it comes solo time. They feel like they have to still move with the chord progression. You don't have to move with the chord progression. So let's music theoretically break this thing down here, okay? It's in the key of C. We have an A minor, and A's the 6th, so that's going to be my Aeolian, okay? F's my 4, so that's going to be my Lydian mode. And then C is my 1, so that's my Ionian. Now, even though it's got one's a C major and one's a C sus, they're both 3-note chords, but if I play my entire Ionian mode, I'm still hitting both of the alternatives of those chords appropriately. Now, modes break down all the time. Just so you guys know, they are not the last stand. They are not ironclad. Modes can certainly be bent and can certainly be lost in the wind. And that's where we start looking at chord theory, which is a lesson coming up down the road. Start playing off of chord theory as well. But modes helps produce our chords. So we want to know our modes as well. Excuse me, I'm still getting over the illness. All right. So moving on. Playing non-linearly, this is going to give me a chance to play something that sounds a bit different and isn't so predictable and isn't so safe. It's going to give me a chance to be more creative on the fly, but still safe because I'm using my theory knowledge to understand where else can I go. So I'm going to now solo over the top of this using other chords that aren't even part of this chord progression here. So if I'm in the key of C, I know that in addition to the 4 chords there, I also have a D minor, I also have an E minor, I also have a G major, or even a G7 if I wanted to use a 4 chord or a 4-note chord. I've also got my B minor 7 flat 5, which is going to come out of our Locrian mode. So I could play any of those chords as well and arpeggiate them or solo through the entire mode, and it's still going to sound fine over the top. Let me go ahead and play this again, and I'll start grooving a little bit, see how it goes. So here's the bass line, right? Da 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 da. Solo time, G Mixolydian. Now I'm going to go to my D Dorian, okay? Okay, so I've got 2 different modes already that sound super tasty over the top, and I'm not actually following the chord progression, okay? So here's how I can start tying those 2 together in there, okay? Let me turn this up a second, more volume here. So now I can start jamming non-linearly over the top, and it gives a whole different set of tones and colors to my bass playing, and it gives me this sense of freedom in my playing that doesn't keep me locked into following the chord progression. You can start doing this today as well, okay? First of all, start off with the jam tracks on the websites, especially the modal tracks on there. They're all diatonic safe, so you can, as you've learned the modes and you've learned all the different stuff that we've been doing out there, you know, your E Phrygians and your G Mixolydians, you know, you get all of your different numbers down in your diatonic order. You can go to those jam tracks there, and you can solo over the top of them like mad and play non-linearly. Let me go ahead and go to our I'll do D Dorian. So here's the D Dorian one, okay? I don't care what the chord progression is there. I'm in the key of C, so I've got all these different modes and chords that I can play right now. Let me go to A minor over the top here. So, I mean, we have so much fun with this stuff, right? And right now, I'm truly being creative. I'm truly trying to just pick modes and start jamming through them and have so much fun as I'm playing with them, okay? I know it wasn't my best work out there, so, you know, please be gentle on me. But soloing over the top of it, really trying to be creative, really trying to improvise on the spot, really trying to not have something pre-planned, really trying to be free from what's on paper and actually allow that big concept that we talk about on video 20, I believe it was, that whole secret of the pros, of getting what I hear in here first out. versus playing something here and then deciding if it was good. I'm trying to prepare something up here and get it out, okay? That is also going to be one of the big parts of playing non-linearly. When you can hear what sounds good, you're not probably hearing in your head a beautifully arpeggiated triad and its inversions. You're probably hearing something awesome that's just totally wicked over the top, and it could be very basic, right? You don't have to have a whole bunch of notes to be a solo. Let me go ahead and play that again here. I'll just use 3 notes, okay? Three notes. There's 5 notes. Let me go to a different mode. Let me go to my G McClelland back down here, okay? So much stuff that I can do by knowing my modes, knowing the freedom of theory, okay? So this is really a big push for me to encourage you guys to spend the time memorizing all of this theory stuff. I guarantee you it's going to pay some really, really big dividends. It's going to open up a big, broad roadmap for you to work with and really unlock a lot of doors. Guys, that is a very brief conversation on linear playing and non-linear playing. Please forgive my soloing there. Guys, stay tuned for our next lesson, okay? Our next lesson, we're going to be discussing, what are we talking about? Oh, we're talking about conditioning. That's right. We're going to be talking about conditioning in our next lesson. Lots of different things that you can do. High-low transitions, doubling, chops, burner charts, all sorts of stuff to really get these fingers and these chops working really, really hard. So stay tuned for that lesson. It's going to help you really build up a sweat. And it's something that you want to stay on top of, okay? Find us online, guys. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Google+. Subscribe to this channel. Lots of good stuff coming out. And check out our newsletter as well. We send out lots of great exclusive newsletter subscriber stuff only right there on the website, BassMatter.com. Guys, this is Ryan McClelland signing off. We'll see you guys at the next lesson.